Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Of course, lacrosse right around the corner. Even though it's 22 degrees outside with a wind chill of about 8, my man Greyson Torain in the mids out there on the practice field getting set for the upcoming lacrosse season. Does it feel like it's been 4 years from DeMatha to 4 months left here at the academy?
No, it's been a heck of a ride. It's gone by really fast. Just obviously super excited to get this season going again, and I just can't wait.
You guys have, done just about everything here. I mean, you've won regular season titles during your time here. What is going to take for this group maybe to take that one final step and take care of the business in the tournament? Because that's seemingly the one thing that has eluded you all. You all have accomplished just about everything else.
I think it just comes down to to practicing a little bit harder and competing at practice. You just said that it's been tough because every time we play a team twice, it seems we lose the second one. So just competing in practice every single day and getting better is, I think, the way to combat that issue and us losing those.
Obviously,
those games.
The differences between winning and losing are details too, little details. This year, there's big detail in this sport. How much does the shot clock change things here? I know it's a little bit longer of a time than many people probably wanted, but does it change anything for you all strategically and how you execute in the form of the game?
I definitely think it does. I think over the past few years, we've been a team that wants to control the pace and play a little bit slower brand of lacrosse, but I think this year, this is actually gonna help us. We've got a lot of athletes at the midfield position, at the attack position, all across the field, and the quick shot clock is going to help us get out and run, and I think we've seen it out there in practicing recently, and hopefully we'll be able to see it in our scrimmages coming up.
Guys like yourself, who, I mean, we see you on special teams. Obviously, we see you, going both ways. A guy that plays a two-way game. Does this become maybe even a greater opportunity for guys like yourself who get a lot of field time, can go both ways, don't necessarily have to be a specialty midfielder, either offensively or defensively? Does this help guys like you maybe even have a chance to contribute more during the course of a game now?
I think so, of course. Being out there on offense and defense and all those things, just like you said, like you just get to run up and down the field, and on defense, like the ball turns over, I can play in transition, get to dodge against an offensive mid if they stay on. If they get off, then we have an odd man situation. So things like that definitely help out us, and especially me. So
when you look at the way the game, even in the time you've been here, has changed, how differently is it from the way you played at DeMatha, where you played a terrific level of high school lacrosse, to blending in as quickly as you did and getting the opportunities you did from the time you were a plebe to where you are now? How much has the game even changed from your first year here to where it is now?
To be honest with you, I think it's definitely gotten a little bit slower for me, just because playing that freshman year really got me acclimated to the Chris Fennells, the Matt Reeses, the guys I was going against in practice, and I think that really helped me get better as a player and get more accustomed to the speed of the game. Going from NAPS to the college level.
What's it like to have been asked to do basically a lot from the time you arrived here? You're given a pretty good role right away, and your whole time here you've been asked to do an awful lot. A place that, of course, prides itself on developing leaders. You've pretty much been asked to lead from the time you got here to where you are now. How have you handled all of that responsibility?
I think role models from obviously DeMatha, my high school, and as well as like the team captains that came in. Like my freshman year, we had Patrick Keena and Jules Godina as our captains, and they taught me a lot, and just the things that they were able to put on their shoulders as far as school and lacrosse and leading, and that way really helped me become a better leader and a better just midshipman overall.
Can you separate those, or do they always have to be considered blended together in how you operate on a daily basis at a place like the academy? Because it is, let's face it, it's completely different than most schools out there on the civilian side. Do you have to consider them all as one and blend them together and clearly divide your time properly that way?
I think so. I think they have to. They're connected. I mean, everything you do is looked upon as like you're a midshipman. You are serving the country. You're doing something that not everyone is. So you're held to that standard. So you can't. There's no time where it's, oh, you're just a lacrosse player. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can do what lacrosse players at other colleges do. It's a lifestyle, and that's something that you have to be bought into when you come here.
Do you enjoy the challenge of meeting that standard every day?
I do. I mean, I think that's what makes kids here a little bit, makes them better people, not than other people, just makes you a better person. You learn things that maybe some don't at other colleges. So I relish in the opportunity to try and become a better person in all aspects of midshipman life.
Obviously, Marine Corps pilot. What appealed to you about that particular service selection?
I think it's the pride that the Marine Corps has. There's a lot of guys that went Marine Corps ground from the lacrosse team, and I definitely looked up to some of those dudes, as well as just I went to Leatherneck over the summer, and just the culture that they have in the Marine Corps has kind of brought me to them.
I was going to say, we've seen within the athletic community, in your 4 years here especially, look at in football and other sports as well, there's been a lot of choices of Marine Corps in some capacity. Obviously, you've studied that. We see the great respect that uniform gets out around everywhere we go when we go places. What is it about the Marine Corps, that uniform, and what it stands for that appealed to you?
Being a part of a team, just being able to compete, every day. I mean, you go to whatever it is that's within the Marine Corps. There's competition, and there's teamwork, and there's camaraderie between the men that are men and women that are in that service. So I think it's something that's very close to being an athlete, and I think that's what motivates kids, athletes specifically, to join that.
Obviously, a very good Richmond team to scrimmage this coming weekend. Looking forward to seeing a different uniform and really finally getting this 2019 season going for you and your teammates.
Yes, yeah, we've been beating up on each other for the last few weeks, and we're ready to see another team, another uniform.
All right, big fella.
Mm-hmm.
Been a joy to watch you the first 3 years. Continued success and an injury-free senior season coming up here.
Thank you very much.
All right, Greyson Torain joining us here on the Navy Sports Magazine.